Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. I just wanted to give you a little thread that I've been having through LinkedIn, and just wanted to go over my opinions on what I'm offering and so forth. Okay, so this person says he's not a programmer, he wants to learn quant programming. He started learning Java, or can you give me an idea where I should start? So said, oh, and he also wants to create some back testing tools. So what I said was, if you're new to programming, and if you asked me 5 years ago, I would have said this language or that language, but to be truthful, the real easy language that I've resisted for many years is Python, okay? Then he asked, do I offer any training? And I said, yes, I offer this training, which is really my course, my algo trading course series. And it's really for people that can't find jobs or coming out or just tired, want to make their own money by setting up their own automated trading business. This is no different than the journey that started for me from Dr. Ernie Chant and his book back in '08, building your own algo trading business. Okay, and I'm planning to really forge ahead with that later in the year 2016 and get the deed done finally. All right. So there's this course, and from what I've learned of all the languages, Python is the easiest. I mean, like seriously, they're teaching 8-year-olds first-time language to learn is Python, and you can do some very powerful things with this language. So that's why I have now in the beginning of 2016 to focus on that and build a whole trading system around that. For those that are new, we are talking about the first phase, infrastructure building blocks for an algorithmic trading system, an automated trading system, and I show all the different components that you can use with source code I provide in a video, and the actual video lesson in that as a reference to get you started, to show you all the pieces you need to build out your own algo trading system. So I've got that already underway. We got one more lesson on that coming up on Tuesday, and we've been doing it since February. Now it's the end of April, and we're on our last lesson, and we're moving now into our first trading strategy, which brings me to the trading strategies. So I won't get into that. I'll do a separate video on that. So he checked it out, no sweat, and he joined. He joined for my 3-year. You need to know more about that. If you come to this link here, you'll see my payment options. Really, the best deal is this one. It's basically a 3-year, and you spend basically $9.99. You save a lot of money, quite a bit actually. And basically, I can't go on about it. It's for 3 years, so you get everything that I provide for 3 years. You won't find a better deal than that anywhere. I guarantee you that. All right, so moving ahead. Now, this is where this is the interesting commentary I'm going to lead into in my next video, but I'll mention it here. Excited, trying to set up a Linux for Python. Hey man, I'm hoping I've got enough instructions that can provide that using everything for free. You can use VirtualBox, you can use Ubuntu Linux, very easy to set up, and that's all free, and then set up your Python environment. Now, this is where it gets interesting. What career path, or what are prospects for your own trading results? Okay, is it possible to develop this into a career? Absolutely, because I've talked about this. High frequency trading shops, a lot of trading operations that I've seen are using Python as pretty well their premier language for research. Yes, there is R. I could go on about that. Nothing wrong with R, but here's the difference with Python versus R. Python is a more varied language. You can use a lot more diverse uses with Python. And we're talking using for a web front end. Next week we talk about using Qt Designer as a tool that will then, like no different than Visual Studio, build out your controls and your forms and develop or have, let's say, Visual Studio build out code for that as a front end, like as a GUI interface, graphical user interface. You can do the same thing with a tool called Qt Designer, which again is free, but to be truthful, you're better off to set it up in Linux because it's much easier, smaller code, blah, 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 blah. So that's number one. as a career path, I haven't really started stressing this, but I will be focusing in my last phase of this course that I've mentioned, a course series here, this one, the last phase, I'll be talking about a strategy called global macro, and that is used virtually by every hedge fund manager out there, every investment bank prop trading desk uses it, as well as pension funds. This is the go-to strategy that these managers use, and I'm planning to automate it. So when we address the topics as traders, not technology anymore, because you don't need the code. I'm not here to spoon feed this to you. The things I'll spoon feed you is the infrastructure code to get you started building out your own trading system. But from here on out, we'll be more addressing trading topics. So we'll have a whole slew of talks and lessons to be learned about the real tricks in using this strategy, as I said, global macro. And if you know this strategy and the topics, you could definitely make a solid career, and you will blow away traders and hedge fund managers. If you ever get to talk to them, if you know this strategy, you are going to know how they think and how they trade. So absolutely will that help you in your career. And as I said, I just finished it off with, I'm addressing this in future videos. And here's one of the first ones as we move into weeks to months on these exact topics. Hopefully I'll help you out. And welcome in joining. And hopefully, if you're interested in what I talked about, just go to this link, which will take you to here, as I mentioned, okay? This indie algo trading course. And I've got all the videos and all the fun stuff that I'm addressing in this particular course. So hopefully that'll answer that question. Over and out.